Welcome to my daily reports market analysis videos with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec on Tuesday, the 7th of July. There's been a retracement of the risk move that we saw playing out yesterday. Now, the much of the risk positive angle came out of China, actually, with a huge amount of buying coming through Chinese equities. That sort of dried up overnight, and subsequently we're starting to see a bit of a retracement. You can see this SSE Shanghai Composite just a shade higher. Asian markets broadly sort of lower though, and falling into the European session as well. Look at these European markets, percent coming up 1.5% backwards. We've got the S&P 400 futures down almost 1% now. So this rally that we saw yesterday is starting to sort of dissipate somewhat, starting to roll over as markets are going to focus probably once more on these rising infection rates and the fact that different little pockets of regions of countries are being put back into lockdown. You've got that happening in China, in Spain, in Germany, in Australia, with the Melbourne and Victoria starting to bring in, reinitiate lockdown procedures, and also the slowing and reversing, arguably, of some of the openings of the US states as well. So it's really interesting that we're starting to see that, and I think that's going to really impact through Q3 as we go along. But certainly for today, risk is looking negative, and you can see that with the dollar rebounding. Dollar has rebounded, has unwound all of those losses from yesterday. We've seen the treasury yields are starting to pull back lower again, only marginally, but still lower nonetheless. And it sort of plays into the whole risk off bias that we're seeing through markets today. The oil price 1% to 1.5% lower as well. So in terms of data points today, not a great deal to really think about. You did have overnight the Reserve Bank of Australia, which held rates steady and maintained its forward guidance. Hasn't done really a great deal to help the Australian dollar though, which is playing on the risk negative angle and is underperforming. We've got the JOLTS jobs openings later for the US at 3 o'clock. It's expected to be 4.85 million jobs openings in May. Now, this is running a month behind the payrolls report, but those JOLTS were over 7 million back earlier in the year. I think February they were just over a shade over 7 million. So yeah, jobs openings are still pretty down. Back in May that was. And that's this afternoon that data hits. Now, in terms of my chart of the day, we're looking at Euro Yen now, because I like the way that Euro Yen has retreated back to this uptrend. And that uptrend has now become a basis of support once again. The sharp correction that we saw through June has now started to form higher lows and higher highs, pulling higher, using the uptrend as support, and is now breaking through what is essentially this old resistance band, 121 figure to 121.40, that those band of highs between February and March had become a basis of resistance again in the last couple of weeks. But running along the uptrend, we're starting to see these high lows in place, and the market breaking out yesterday didn't quite, well, you could argue it did do it on a closing basis, but didn't quite really sort of release the shackles into the close, 21.42. But I still think little corrections are a chance to buy now. Look at these momentum indicators, stochastics. That's a bull kiss, I like to call it, where the two lines come together and then accelerate away from each other again. That's a bull kiss. You've also got RSI up towards the high 50s, close to 60. MACD lines, are they about to cross higher? So you've got this nice momentum set up, and I think if you start to close consistently above 21.40, that really does sort of open the upside once more, breaks you through this resistance, and then you start to test 23.6% fib, which was that reaction high, also 22.10. But then beyond that, you really do look towards a full retracement. So there is the prospect of this the euro gaining ground again, looking to buy the euro into weakness and against the yen. That certainly again seems to be the way to play it. So in terms of your hourly chart, you've had a little bit of a corrective dip today, but nothing too decisive in terms of that dip. Let's see how it really does affect on the hourly. Nothing too significant, is it? In fact, it's sort of back into a band of support, you could argue. That sort of 21 figure area up to 21.40 is a pretty decent band of support, really, and it's bounced off that initially. You've got that's where the moving averages come in as well. Unwinding the momentum as well to a decent buying opportunity level. on the RSI and MACD line. So this could well be seen actually as an opportunity rather than anything else. So we're looking at a decent rally point on this euro yen to regain and move back above 21.40. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today. Click here to subscribe to our analysis videos. Go to our website, sign up for our webinars, and also click to watch our Trader Talks videos to gain some top trading ideas.